Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another little episode here of me running around doing stuff. And if you guys were not aware, I was, of course, over at a anime convention just a few days ago, over last weekend, over in Memphis, Tennessee, for Anime Blues Con 8. And of course, I am here to discuss with you some of the stuff I picked up. Didn't pick up that much stuff this year about the patch heals, but I do got some cool stuff to show off. And of course, letting you guys know, for any of you that are interested in my con coverage, there will be a video coming very soon going over all my opinions of the convention itself, how good, how bad, and of course tell some con stories as we go over all that. As well as I'm going to be posting up some panel video for anybody that missed any of that. And it's interesting, of course, we got the cosplay contest, which I was a part of. So that will be coming up. We will also be having a movie panel with, I know, Uncle Crow, Blake, Pela, and I know one of the villains from like season 4 or 5. I don't remember his name offhand. But either way, a movie panel coming on that. Right along with a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing them video will be coming out in the next like day or so as I get them all edited. But for the video itself, like I said, this is mainly gonna be our pickup video of the con itself. So let's go ahead, let's start off with some of the stuff that we got the second we walked through the door, which is called our ticket itself. Which, as I make sure my camera is fine, which of course me and Sam did do a VIP ticket this year, and of course, as you can tell, the theme of this year convention is of course 8-bit video game with of course Mega Man and Link there, and of course that little J7, which is on this side, the little J7 symbol is of course what number I was in the cosplay contest. So with that, of course, every VIP gets, for the most part, I believe, I think today won out, or either way, most people got them, either way you go, is a exclusive Anime BlueCon t-shirt, which I believe the only way to get it was to be VIP. I don't know if they was actually selling these after the fact to anyone who wasn't VIP but still wanted a t-shirt. I'm not 100% sure, but of course, nonetheless, we got that. And of course, now we're going to start getting into the stuff I actually did pick up that wasn't tied to my tickets. And for anyone that was not aware, as you will see in the cosplay contest, I was cosplaying as Lee Shaowan from Card Capture Shakora and Card Capture Quill Card over the weekend. So in return, I had to pick up some Card Capture stuff. So yeah, first of all, we start off with this little lady here. Which, as I deal with my horrible lighting here, like I said, please bear with me on that one. There was really an interesting story I will tell real quick. As I was running around in my Lee Shamwan costume, one of the dudes who was in the dealer room, I just hear, like, I think I was looking at, like, foam, like, keyblades and stuff. Either way, I just hear a dude holler from, like, behind me, like, hey, I got your girlfriend over here. I'm like, what happening? What? Cause thinking like, oh god, what did Sam do? Did Sam break something? Who knows? But I ended up looking back and I saw the dude, and he started pointing at this little lady. And of course, right when I realized what was happening and I seen it, I'm just like, yeah, that is too adorable. I have to have this. And of course, for the most part for the convention, I had all pretty much hanging from my sword that I ended up making for my cosplay. So she actually kind of joined me up on stage for the cosplay contest. And like I said, she was only, I think, $12. And she is adorable little plushie. And honestly, like I said, it was just too adorable. I could not pass that up. And then, speaking of the plushies, a little bit of a trend this year. I kind of got a few plushies. I ended up picking up more Card Capture stuff. Of course, a little kilo right here. And honestly, I couldn't just pick him up. I had to get his buddy as well, which his name is escaping me at the moment, because I'm pretty sure the name in my head is not correct. But his little buddy that showed up at the end of Sakura and ended up playing, I guess, somewhat of a okay bigger role in Quill Call, at least from what I have seen of the series anyway, which is of course his old gaming rival here. And I saw these two, as I tried to get them around my mic, I saw these two hanging out on the same table. I think it was $30 a piece for these little guys. And when I saw both of them, I'm like, yeah, I can't just buy one. I gotta buy the two. Since these two are like horrible rivals, especially in a quill card. So ended up picking these little guys up because once again, it was adorable. And then I ended up picking up something that I honestly wouldn't picked up, but I'm like really happy I did because it came in the most handy over the convention. Without going into detail, like I said, I will save detail for when I actually talk about my stories and review the con itself. But I did have a table for about 2.5 hours ish selling stuff at the convention, and I kind of needed something to keep the money in for, you know, change and whatnot. So as I was looking around, I ended up finding the bag, which is pretty much like a bank bag that you would get from like a bank, but way more awesome, with a core Luna, Diana, and Ottomans. I think it's Ottomans, of the cat from Sailor Moon. Same picture on both sides. I ended up picking this up because, like I said, I needed it. And also, for anyone who's not aware, the two cats I do have that you guys sometimes see over my live streams are named after Sailor Moon characters. So I would name Luna and Diana. So like, okay, I needed it back for the money for my for my table, and of course, like it have technically 2 of the 3 cats I own on it. So like for $15, I ended up grabbing it. Like I said, actually a really good bag. You have like multiple pockets inside and everything. In one of them cases, it was just like, I am like the most happiest about this out of most of the stuff I picked up during the convention itself. So bear with me for 1 second while I deal with these noises. So moving on, and now to, of course, some of my other actual pickups that not card capture related or not me needing it for the convention. I ended up picking up a whole bunch of manga here, which, of course, most of the mangas I ended up picking up while I was in the room setting up my table. And once I got it set up, I had like 10 minutes to kill before they opened the door to the public. So I kind of went around, just looked around at everybody's tables to see what everyone had and see if anything I want to pick up before, you know, the public get in. And I did pick up a few things. I picked up 2 things for me, and then I picked up some stuff for Sam. The 2 stuff I picked up for me will be kind of, you know, on brand, I get for me. I ended up picking up the Dikaya 2 manga volume 1. I believe that one was, yeah, that one I ended up picking up for $2. Which is honestly a good deal. The main reason to do, I think, was selling them for like $2 is because they had a $2 sticker on it. He forgot to took off since he was talking about that. So I ended up getting Dikaya 2 called Memory Volume 1. Then this other manga I picked up because I actually needed it. Because I actually had, I believe it's the 2nd volume. I bought it a long time ago and I didn't realize it was the 2nd volume till after I bought it. And of course something else that it really close to my heart for, once again, anyone that had paid attention to my channel by any means, and of course that is a Dot Hack. So got Dot Hack, if I can speak you, Volume 1, The Legend of the Twilight. Like I said, I believe I had the 2nd volume is what I had. I need to probably double check that. Either way you go, it would not actually get the 4th volume, so I can actually see the story from the beginning here and see how many liberties or non-liberty did the anime of Legend of the Twilight actually took from the manga. If the manga didn't come forth, I'm not for sure how that lined up. But either way, moving on to something else I got. That one was actually a present for Sam, since she kind of in the mood right now, like most people are getting, kind of getting hype for Kingdom Hearts 3 coming. Maybe next year. I still don't got much hope in it, but we will cross that bridge when the time comes. But I ended up finding someone who was selling 4 volumes of the Kingdom Hearts manga. So it was selling all 4 for $15. So $5 a piece. This is of course, yeah, just the Tokyo Pop. Don't look like any subtitles on it because I believe it was what, like another Kingdom Hearts series of mangas, like after the fact. But yeah, ended up picking up all 4 of these for $15. So yeah, it was, so what was that, like $2.50 of manga, something like that, since the 4 of them we ended up getting. So yeah, ended up picking that up for Sam. So that is pretty much my, I believe, mostly my manga collection that I got from the con this year. And moving into something I actually got for free offhand as I was walking back into the convention center, because they had the main like giant hallway you had to go down to actually get to the escalator to get to the second floor where the convention was. Someone just handed me a thing and just said, "Hey, you want this?" I don't know what happened. I don't know if they stole it. I don't know if they bought it from someone, they didn't want it, or they bought it and it wasn't what they thought it was. I have no idea. But either way, someone just like, "Hey, you want that? You can have it for free if you want," as they were passing me in the hallway. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Which is called a JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and this is, if I can open it, okay, like kind of hold it up, like technically like a folder to hold paperwork in. But yeah, the JoJo like paper holder, which I think some people was, I don't know about this year, because I didn't actually see these this year like laying on any tables, but I believe the last couple of years they've been selling them for like $4 or $5. But yeah, like I said, I don't know who that was. If you happen to be watching that video, thank you for that, I guess, as long as it wasn't stolen. So yeah, thank you. And from there, we start getting in to the last few things I ended up picking up. Another present I picked up for Sam, if you count it as a present, and most of we were walking around on Sunday, just like, okay, let's do last minute shopping, and at the end, the crowd had calmed down, and we could actually see a lot of stuff a lot better. But we actually found a artist, that was doing, original, Okami artwork. So yeah, ended up picking this up. I want to say that it was 15, I think. But yeah, if you let you look at this is actually really great. But yeah, they were selling it in this size and then like a size a little bit smaller, I think for like 10. But yeah, ended up picking this up since Sam usually every year will try our bet to find something Okami related. You know, usually hit or miss depending. But yeah, this year we ended up finding this. So yeah, ended up grabbing this little guy. And speaking of artwork, some of you might be, I feel horrible saying it now just because it feels like yesterday. But some of you might be aware of some artwork that were really good from an artist back in the day, and his manga series kind of self-destructed after a certain point for many reasons, at least from what I have heard. But I always did love like the artwork that would come at like the beginning of like manga chapters, and whatnot, just like pictures in general that just came from that scene. And of course that is all, let's see, what's the title here? All in quarter but the Bleach, the art of Bleach, which is a art book of every, I guess you could say, let me see if I can actually show this off, like most of like default artwork, as well as, let me see, go back here a little bit, there we go. Oh yeah, the art book from 2005 to 2006, but actually just like showing off like how some of the stuff was made, like panel wise, and like I said, like all the artwork that was, like I said, was mainly, as I whip it off the camera here, was like artwork you saw at the beginning of chapter, right along with like some original like postal stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love like the Bleach artwork, especially from that time period. And honestly, like I saw this, the dude was selling it for 20, and I believe like that was what retail originally for 20. Yeah, originally for $20. So the dude wasn't even selling it as a markup, and just like, here you go, same price as is. Which honestly, I remember always wanting the art book like way back in the day. I think when it originally came out, and I just at the time didn't have the money to buy it because I was, oh Jesus, how old was I? I think I was 16 when this art book came out. And also the place I remember seeing it, which once again it might be an old man talking here, was a site called Discount Anime, that ended up getting sued into the oblivion Because from everything I have always heard, it was a bootleg anime site that was, of course, ran by the mob in China and Japan. So, yeah, that kind of was a thing. But yeah, pretty much after that site kind of died, I never saw the art book ever again. And yeah, here we are now, like, what? Jesus, like 18 years later, I finally found it. So I had to pick that up. And then getting close to the very end here of my pickup. I know Sam picked up a few things. The only thing I know offhand that she got that she actually keeping wasn't a present was like a giant bill mug, which like the ritual, like, you know, the what was it, like the fox head symbol that Geralt from the ritual have, like engraved into that mug. It's actually really nice, but like one of them things where like it's super heavy and I feel like I'm gonna break it every time I touch it. But yeah, I do have two more little things, actually three more things now looking at it. Some artwork and then something pretty big here. So keeping the card capture vibe going, I ended up getting this here, which is just as I try to look under my screen to see if I got it on camera, which is just a very simple, and not original artwork. I'm pretty sure that probably something from one of the mangas or something. But yeah, ended up getting a plant of this. I want to say I got that for $2. It was like a table that was 70 types of plants for, I think it was $3 a piece or 2 for $5. And my brother ended up buying some stuff, so when he bought it, I ended up getting it for $2 since it was the discounted one. So yeah, I ended up grabbing that. And of course, getting into one more picture here, which, as I said, he'll unfold it, which honestly will not be any bit of a surprise once again to anyone that hung around the channel for longer than 5 minutes. Which is, of course, I ended up getting another Miku Portal. Since surprisingly, maybe because I actually have a Miku console happening at the con, a lot of places was actually selling Miku stuff. There was a lot of statues, a lot of Portal, a lot of like hentai Portals of Miku, which I was kind of surprised by. But yeah, I ended up just picking up that one because it was the one that was like I get the most accurate to a character design ish, depending. But yeah, I ended up picking this up. That was, I think, $5 for the giant Portal. So yeah, I got me my Miku, I got me my Dekaya, I got me my Bleach. It pretty much everything. Everything I try to find every year, I pretty much got, with one exception of which I was really looking for some Aweko stuff, but supposedly no one had any, so maybe Aweko is just a little too new, and that's not the case. But I did get a little present from one of my friends who was at the con with me. He ended up running off and then grabbing it for me, and then of course running up and hitting me with it. And it, of course, a replica Lucille from, once again, try to get the one on my camera, from The Walking Dead, the comic, not the TV series. Since the TV series, I want to say it was like right around here-ish. Like the TV series actually have like a logo on it. But yeah, an actual like replica of Lucille. Because like I said, I don't really buy TV stuff. I usually, Walking Dead stuff, I usually want to keep to the comics since I love the comics so much more than the TV series. And of course, he found it, which I would have bought this if I seen it. I totally overlooked it. But yeah, he ended up grabbing it for like $20. And the one thing we will like, it is supposed to be like a replica and be made of foam. Not really. Because it's like one of them cases where like when you hit with it, it's like a piece of metal inside of this. Don't get me wrong, it's barely in foam. It like, it wouldn't kill you, I imagine, if you hit someone with it. But it would really hurt. Because like, if you like barely hit anything, you can feel like the metal vibrating in your hand. And it ain't hurting my hand doing it. But yeah, that right there is a call, my pickup from Anime Blue 8 in Memphis, Tennessee. If you guys happen to went to the convention and you saw me running around in my Lee Shanwan cosplay, feel free to post below picture to any picture you might got of me. And if you were also there, let me know what you picked up. See what kind of shiny items you guys got. since this is what I got. And yeah, either way, I think that would do it for me. Like I said, the next video will probably be me rambling over my toys, my review, everything that went wrong, everything that went great with the convention itself. And then, of course, probably after that, we will start posting some of the panels I recorded. I think I got like 5 or 6 panels recorded. And hopefully the audio not garbage, since we did get a new mic. And yeah, we will see how that worked out. Either way it goes, if you happen to be new to the channel, of course, I've been your wonderful Plenty. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when stuff is coming. So new stuff does come all the time, especially more now that I'm back home. And also make sure you hit that like button or dislike button, whatever in your heart at the moment. Feel free to let your feelings out. And yeah, either way, I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, you have a good one, guys. Bye.